Welcome back to our IT Support Basics Lab course. In our last video, we have learned about IT Support Basics Lab's RSAT tool for help desk with example. So basically what we did, let's go back to the lab. You are a help desk on the right side. This is your machine as Sherry, and Monica is starting in your company now. And you're now assigned the task that now you should be installing Monica's machine on this network, and then you will be basically adding this Monica's machine to your domain controller, because that is the machine that your systems administrator set up for you. And then you have all the rights, because now your machine is very powerful. You also install a tool that you can now manage Monica's machines or her issues or things that she will come across. So the first thing is to install the operating system. I already showed this in my first video, so I'm not gonna do this fully here. So I'm just gonna pause videos and then finish this off. Again, this is a reminder for people who are watching this lab course. This is a skills lab course for people who want to learn quickly. But if you are interested in doing a full program, go to jobskillshare.org, sign up, click on Start Your Journey, and then open the first learning path, which is this one. This has all these skills and multiple courses in that. And then you're going to finish from step 1 to all the way to step the last one is a career session and job preparation. So there's a lot of courses. It's going to take you some time, but once you finish, I feel like you're going to be ready for level 1 and even level 2 level skills. All right, so we're gonna just quickly finish this and then come back. Now, since this is a virtual environment, I would like to give you some visual understanding of this. For example, this is a help desk machine. In a real building, this may be a building like this, and let's say you're on building, this is one building, and this is floor 1, F1, and this is a second floor right here, which is F2. Now, what's happening over here is that you have an office. In this floor 1, this is your help desk office, and your name is Sherry, and it's physically that office has a Ethernet connection going on, and you have a computer sitting here, and you're just sitting here basically like that. And what you're doing is you're going to office 2. This is also a physical office for Monica now, and this is also Ethernet connected, and there's a laptop. Now, where did the laptop came from? This could be coming from a Dell or some HP, and you just basically get that laptop. You have a fresh laptop. You can configure things on your own desk too. Some people have that ability to do that. Or you will just take the laptop in this floor, and you'll just plug it in, and then once you start the machine, you're basically installing the operating system from scratch right now. So of course it gets more advanced than that. You may have images, which is later on you're going to learn something that how can you bypass this whole installation time that you're spending here. You can do that, and that's the more skills, that's the more advanced skills you're going to learn in this type of labs, and of course in the full courses that we have here. So for example, if you go to the step 2 right here, which is a technical skills course, help desk, step 2 is right here. Step 2, which is a help desk technical skills course. This is a pretty good course for a lot of technical things like images, deployments, VPN, stuff like that. This is probably the course that you need to be in if you want to learn more advanced quickly, but I will be showing this in my lab course at the basic level as well. So that's just a quick overview of how visually you're doing something on a virtual environment, but always keep in mind that you may have to do this physically too, and now people are doing this remotely as well. Like, there are laptops shipping into this person's home, and they're configuring everything and reshipping it back to the user. There's a lot of things that are happening in this modern world, but that's something we can learn later on. Alright, Monica's machine is almost ready. So as a help desk, let's go ahead and log in as Sherry. She's a help desk. I'm going to log in, making sure that I put the right password. There you go. So as you can see, she's going in there, going back in there, because Monica's about to start today. That's her first day at work, and you're setting her machine up, and you want to first make sure that you are ready from your end. So Monica is right here. Let's go ahead and make sure the password is correct. I'm gonna reset the password one more time so I remember it. I'm putting a right password. So you can see for most of the users, when you're dealing with that in a real world environment, you give them a temporary password, and then you have to give them ability to change their password. And that is where we discussed in the beginning that how you should know about group policy, because Monica may be calling you about all that kind of stuff. So make sure to watch my previous videos to understand this GP group policy concept. And I'm not going to do that now, so I'm just going to say okay. And then we're going to log in, we're going to try to log in as Monica, and let's see if it works. You just installed a brand new operating system. You're new to this stuff, so this will test your knowledge now that can you log in with Monica's username and password from this machine, and you haven't even set up anything yet. So we're going to do that right now. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up quickly. Alright, so we are going to use the same domain joined information, and here is the first account. So this is again local account. It has nothing to do with your domain yet, right? This is a local account. This machine doesn't know anything about your domain at this point. You're just creating this local account, so in case something happens in the future, you want to get back to it. We're going to also do this kind of practice, that what if it drops from domain, then what happens? Now you see that Monica's machine is ready to go, but at this point still Monica cannot come into this machine and log in with this account that you have created, because it's a local account. It doesn't know anything about your domain. It's not managed by the king in your network, because you see that's the only account that's helped us. Another thing you need to remember, when we did this, you did not change the name yet, because even says Monica in the virtual environment, that template, but still Monica's machine name is not changed yet. So you have to redo these things again, and that's why if I remind you again, most of the help desk work is repetitive work, and that's what we do most of the time. Repetitive, and you just get better at different techniques. So now you're learning things at the very manual level, and you get to learn this first to understand how things are created. Later on, you make things scripted, you make it more easier. So for example, if you install this whole operating system in 15 minutes, next time you can do this in few minutes, because you may have an image, you may have a snapshot, things like that. But like I said, don't even think further. The first thing is to enhance the skills in the beginning, to really learn this stuff, because when you start troubleshooting, you need to really go to the basics, how things are created. You are not going to be using anything advanced like scripts or anything at this level. It will not make any sense. So the first thing is to redo these things again, even though you may think, oh, didn't you teach this in the first video? Yes, but that was a sysadmin creating a help desk machine. Now you're creating a machine as a help desk. You're on the help desk machine. So things changed. You see, small things, but it matters a lot when you do your practice like this. You're going to definitely come across issues, and you need to research it and troubleshoot it. So let's move on, and we're going to log in as, right now you see it's help desk. So we're going to log in as help desk account, which is a local help desk account. It has nothing to do with this help desk in this Active Directory. And the first thing we need to do is to join this machine to the domain, so then Monica can join in. Monica is about to come in, let's say 1 hour, and you need to do this quickly. So let's go ahead, go to system, and then let's see if we have the information in there. We see now the display name is Monica. We're going to scroll down, advanced systems settings. Now remember, you can find this settings in different ways, type work, all that kind of stuff. I already showed that in my first video. Go to computer name, change, and here you're going to use a domain. What is your domain? How do you know what domain it is? It's in your Active Directory RSAT tool that you install on your machine, hq.jobskillshare.org. So let's go ahead and type that, hq.jobskillshare.org. Verify if you type everything correctly. So we did. We click OK, and we get an error. Okay, very important. Again, the same thing. We're going to go down and see, oh, okay, the DNS is pointing to what? 192.168.10.1. And if you come to this one and you just do a cmd ipconfig/all, you can see the DNS for this server, for the one that we want to use, is 194. That is our domain controller, that our DC, our sysadmin created that. So in our lab solution, how do we fix this? You need to go to your adapter And these are the small skills that you need to know. People are going to call you, hey, can you put this IP address statically? Can you put this IP address in your machine? They're not going to tell you to open this like this, open this like that. You need to know this stuff. So go to open network and network settings. And then here you're going to click on Ethernet, change adapters options. Right click, go to properties. That's the interview questions right there. Like, how do you change an IP address? Show me step by step. TCP IPv4, and we're going to go to the properties. We just need to change the DNS over here, which is 192.168.10.194. And then we just put this Google DNS as well. You don't need to do that, but that's what I do in my lab. All right, so when we do this and we go back and we click on OK, you see things started to work, because like I said in my first video, you're now pointing to that DC, which is right here. Now you're saying that, hey, knock knock, can I be managed by you? So they're like, okay, who is giving you that permission? Now this help desk account is a part of our Active Directory. Remember this Active Directory right here. You go to users, this guy right here, not your local password that you created on that machine. Okay, that's a very common mistake a lot of people make. So if you put the right password, welcome to the hq.javascriptshare.org domain, and now Monica can log in with the account you have created in Active Directory for her. So this account can be used on this machine. So let's go back and check first of all the machine. Oh, it's not there. So how do you see? Because you already opened this window, all you got to do is to refresh, and there you go, Monica machine just popped up. So that is a very common skill. Every single person should know, whether they are level 1, whether level 10, it doesn't matter. If you don't know this stuff, you're missing a major skill right here. And without this, you cannot be working in a corporate environment. Why? Because almost all of the machines are connected like this, and it starts from here. So if you don't know this manually, or you have not practiced on this a lot, then of course you're going to have a lot of issues with basics, and you won't be able to comprehend some of the errors that are going to arise from this type of situations. So let's move on, and now we're going to go and see, okay, can I log in with this help desk account? I'm not going to log in with this help desk account because I have other users available. So now you see it's on corp, which is my Active Directory right here. And now Monica, for the first time, can come in and log in, and she's going to put her password just like that, and it's going to say welcome. All right, everyone, this is the moment where you will think or talk to yourself, is that it? No, this is just the starting right now, but a very good start, because now everything that you do as a help desk, most of the time, it's Monica calling you now. Monica is gonna say, I need Outlook on my machine, right? Do you have Outlook? You need to install that. Now, in most likely in a real world environment, you as a help desk, before Monica even opened this machine or log in as her, you already put Outlook, Word, Excel, and any specific applications that a company is using. You may even have a customized way for your company to open a browser. What kind of link should they get in the beginning? Tiny things that you need to learn from the course that I showed before, and some of the things that are going to be just operating system specific level skills. And that's where I show that in the beginning, that you really need to take the fundamental course, which is right here, the first one, step 1, because it kind of go over some of the like disk partitioning, ping commands, ipconfig, tracer, nslookup, all this stuff. Operating system features, control panel, security concepts, control panel with utilities. These are specific to operating system, and then what things can happen to Monica's machine, and then you need to troubleshoot it. For that, of course, you need to take a course. But other than that, I want to show you a few different things that you can do. So Monica may call you that I need an application for my for my business, like for example graphic designing. We have a vendor, I work with that vendor, and I would like to install FileZilla, and can you install that for me, because I cannot install it, I don't have access. So there are advanced way and there are basic way. So that's why the first thing is to learn the basic first, because you may never know that advanced may not be available to you or may not be even given to you. So the first thing you should do is like, okay, Monica called you tonight and she logged in. Okay, fine, everything is fine. We're not installing any other application but just FileZilla. So then let's say you're working remotely, you're on a second building and you still have a connection to these machines, or remotely you told Monica to leave your machine on, I'm going to log into your machine. So in most cases people are going to test you on a basic skill like RDP, right? So what is RDP? You basically open a application on your machine like that, remote desktop connection, and then you basically try to remote into this machine. So basically what you're doing, Monica is requesting a software but you don't have a physical access, you just remote into this machine. So by doing that, what will happen? Let's go ahead and try it. So let's go and see. We're going to type Monica here. So it's looking for that machine right now. So this is a basic skill and you should know that. A lot of people will ask you this in an interview. How do you RDP to another machine? Or they may show you the error that's going to come up from this and then tell you to troubleshoot it. So it tells you right here, remote desktop connection can be connected. Few reasons. Remote access to the server is not enabled. The remote computer is turned off. The remote computer is not available on the network. So the bottom two does not apply because you can see the computer. You can also then verify that does this have a working internet, working IP. So if you do IP config, again, if you don't know these commands, go back to our fundamental course. So you know that IP is working right here, 192.168.10.38. You can go ahead and also verify it from here as well. If you do this ping by Monica name like that, the ping is not working. So that's fine, no problem with ping. That's not working because of the DNS name. But does the IP address work? So that's the first thing you should now verify that. Okay, if Monica name is not working, can I use an IP address that's available to me? So I'm just gonna do ping 192.168.10.30. Oh, sorry. If you want to cancel this, you can do Control C. There's other ways too, Control Z as well. So let's just do 192. Again, you can do the up arrow, change it like that. You can do 8, put 8 in there. For some reason our keyboard. So now you can see, okay, our ping is also not working for 10.38 as well. So okay, what's going on over here? Now there are a few reasons that can happen. When you install a brand new machines on both machines, you have this firewall going on. Now in some companies they have internal firewalls and they have antiviruses or they have different type of solutions. So in most cases what people do is they will turn off the local firewall and let the corporate level firewalls take over the machines. That's just for a reason that we may not want to have these type of issues. But again, you should look into your security policies. This is something that I will not recommend you just go into your machine and start turning off firewall. You can definitely invite some unknown traffic. So you need to definitely look into that. But in your lab environment, the first thing you should do is to come over here just to make things easy. Okay, can I learn that RDP skill? So for now, I'm not worried about firewall. I'm just going to go ahead and enable this. But Monica cannot do this. Remember, you're now based on everything is now based on permissions. So you have to do this as a help desk from Active Directory because you have that rights, right? So you see Monica can then turn off this. I'm just going to turn off all this and then click OK. So now let's see if we can do ping with IP address, and there you go. So you already know one thing, that because of that pinging, because of that firewall, it was denying that. But does it really work with Monica's name now? So let's go ahead and do that. And it works. Okay. So the first issue was just firewall. So and the second thing, let's go ahead and we can verify this now by coming over here and we're going to do connect. Is it still connecting? So a lot of people may think that, oh, because I turned on firewall, so this may work, but it has nothing to do with firewall. It's actually an option that you need to turn on RDP. So basically you need to actually go to this machine and you need to go to the same settings. We're going to go right click go to settings. There are different ways too you can do this, but I'm just showing you another ways, advanced settings, and you see it's going to ask you for password because this is advanced settings, and again you need to put the help desk. And if you look in this right here, remote, it says do not allow remote connections to this computer. So you're just basically going to say apply, okay, and now let's see what happens. Boom. You see this? So that is one skill that you need to know, how to come over here and actually go to the advanced settings and turn on the remote settings for that. You can also type remote in here to make it easy. They have different bunch of settings for you to do this. You can have this from here to remote settings, and you can turn it on from here, turn it off from there. Okay, sign as an administrator to change the settings. So you have this ability. When I clicked on advanced setting, it took me to the same place. So that's one way. Now I want to show you something that does it work if you go back to the firewall. That was just to show you that a lot of people think it's like that, but let's go back and turn off the firewall again, because we need to make sure. And we'll go ahead and turn on. There you go. All right, so now let's do this again. You see this? This is a common thing that a lot of people think that it may happen like this, and you start pinging. So a few things I wanted to show you. It can happen. There are certain things, even in firewall rules, there's a RDP rule, and you can have a person disable that and say that do not allow this RDP protocol to run on this firewall. Then yes, you're going to come across the same issue. For your lab specific, because you don't want to, in the beginning, you don't know these things, you don't know these rules and everything. That's why I prefer you to turn it off in the lab environment. But when you're done with things and you know that RDP is working, maybe then you should come back and turn it on and then start learning more about firewalls. Because like I said, most of the time you will get stuck with this type of settings where firewall is turned on and you're not able to do things. These are just settings that these are some of the skills that we apply just quickly to see if this is not a firewall issue. So if it's not, we go back and revert the changes again. So the main reason I did this whole flow with you is to tell you one thing. Do certain changes, but when things are working, go back and revert it. Even if things are not working, you tested something, go back and put it back into the same place how it was, because most of the time we lose our sight on these different changes, and then it takes you a lot of time to come back and say, oh, I remember that I checked this box, right? It's mostly like that in most cases you just need to know the basics over here. So if I go and do the connect again, you see my Monica's machine is working. So if I want to log in as Monica, you see when I click on login, remoting into that machine, it's still pointing to the Sherry's username. I cannot still log in as Monica. If I want to log in as myself to install something, and as a help desk, you probably will use the Sherry's password and log in with her, on her machine and install it without having any issues. So if you try this password right now, like that, it's connecting to Monica's machine, and you can see it's gonna go and log in. You can see another user signed in. If you say yes, it's going to ask that other user for 30 seconds, and after that it's gonna log in to that machine as Sherry now. So now Monica will just see a screen like this, and while you're logging in as Sherry, you're the help desk. You told Monica that, hey, I'm working on your machine, I'm installing it, and then once you're done with her installation, you basically call back Monica and say, hey Monica, you can log back in, the software is on your machine now. Now again, is that how we work? Yes, sometimes we work like this, but then other things is like shadow remoting. So basically what that is, you have Monica on your machine logged in, and then you use some kind of tools or another application to basically log into her screen while she watches you, because most of the time she's having an issue that you need to see or she need to explain it. So you can be using this method. Now in RDP there is a way you can do this, but that's something for advanced. I'm going to show that later on. For now in this video, I hope you got the understanding of how a user and a help desk interact with each other. And then of course you learn some of the skills like RDP and joining a computer domain, and you can see the control that you have on different machines because of the Active Directory. So let's say you're done with this. I am just gonna basically close this session by just disconnecting right here, and then you're back into your machine. You helped Monica, she's done, she logged back in, and then she basically go back to her machine like that, and then she will see that the application will be available. Now, another thing that you can do as a help desk, and it's a very powerful feature, is that, for example, Monica needs a text file and or something from you, or maybe you need to drop a file. There are different ways to do that. Again, to make it easy, there's another thing that we use a lot in our in our access, and this is something that I will give you warning. If you do this type of things, make sure you know the risk of it too, because if you try to log into someone's machine without their knowledge, and there's a security rule that you can't do that, you have to actually log it, you will get fired by someone because they can track these things. So for example, Monica wants a file on her desktop, and she's logged in and she needs it immediately, and you're like, oh, I know I have the file, but I don't have an access to her machine, like physically. I cannot put a USB and put it on her desktop. So how can I do this with my access? So you'll just type / in the file explorer, like Monica, like that, /C drive like that, and you see when you do this, we'll see that. So now this is a good example right here. Monica, you're trying to do a C, Monica C $. This is where things are happening on a firewall level. So you can try with Monica and C drive, but it's still not working, and it's probably going to give you error. Let's see if it's working. No, it's not working, right? So this is where a firewall again kicks in. The RDP was different, but this is now a firewall level. So let's go ahead and see what happens now. We're going to log in as help desk, and you see we got an error that you cannot get that path. You're not allowed to, because the firewall says right here you can't. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off. Now later on we will specifically go inside the firewall and tell you which rule is actually doing this. But if I go back again now and I do this again, you see I just got in. That's just to show you the level of what firewall can do to the machine. You're trying to get into her machine with direct access. This is like a share access. You're doing a C drive, so when you do a C $, you're basically coming straight to her machine without her knowing. You straight came to this area right now. You see it's the same thing. So you can go into users now. You can open Monica, and here on the desktop you can drop a file. So any file, doesn't matter what it is. And there you go, that file just showed up. So as a help desk, you have a very powerful rights. That's why I say you have to be very careful to use this type of access. And like I say, by default, Windows disabled that from you. Like you couldn't do that. But in a normal network environment, corporate environment, we need this access because we have to do certain things. And then it comes with more of policies and stuff like that. If you do this in a real environment without them knowing, you go to their pictures and start watching Monica's pictures, of course you're in big trouble. You're definitely going to get fired, and I'm not sure what legal things are going to happen too. So yeah, you don't want to play around with this just so, oh wow, this is amazing, I can do this, let me log into my CEO machine and see what kind of documents they have, what kind of stuff they have. So just a quick warning for you as well. You're learning the basics, but that doesn't mean with this access you can do anything. All of this is tracked. I, as a security professional, can see who typed this type of path, and I can even see what applications you try to open, because everything is then tracked with advanced protection systems these days. So I hope this was a good video for you to learn some basics, some skills, some client and help desk interaction, and I hope we will continue this and grow more with this. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.